First of all, we've had a very rich history here at GNLD as far as our athletes are concerned, with world-class athletes like Josiah Tugwani, Bruce Fordyce that won the Comrades, first African man to win the marathon. They were all sponsored by GNLD and using GNLD nutrition when they achieved their targets, realized their dreams. Now, give them a big round of applause. I want to call this individual up, and once he comes up here, he did a fantastic job, 9.5 kgs in 6 weeks. He actually exceeded the correct weight loss. He went well over it, 44.5 centimeters he lost. Reese Foster, please come forward. This is the reason I want him to come forward, is because he's an expert paddler, does the doozy, and very, very active. Reese, can you just tell us your name and whereabouts you are from?
Hi, Reese Foster. I'm from Serengeti Golf Estate on the East Rand, so I'm from the Oostrand.
For the Oostrand. And can you tell us what you put on a little bit of weight? You got caught up with work. What was the challenge there?
I think it's a lifestyle thing because we're so busy with jobs, being in and out of meetings, and you look for convenience food a lot of the time. So for me, you quickly slip backwards if you stop your activity levels and you stop burning the amount of calories, but you still consume the same amount of food. And I've got a thing I think I call boarding school mentality. If it's there, I must eat it because I didn't have a chance at school. So it's a big change.
Now, we see a picture of you up here paddling. You're an avid paddler, and in this 6-week period, Reese did not only go and try and lose weight, he ended up doing the doozy and the non-stop doozy. And how many non-stop doozies have you done, Reese?
It was my 17th one this year. I started when I was at school, and I've done them ever since.
So 17 times he's done the non-stop doozy. Now, to do the doozy is an achievement in itself because they do that over 3 days. The non-stop, what do you do in 1 day? What are the kind of kilometers that you cover, Reese?
Well, you start in Pietermaritzburg and you literally do the same route or very similar routes to the doozy all the way to Blue Lagoon and Durban. So it's about 80 kilometers of paddling and 40 kilometers of running, which obviously you're carrying your boats on your shoulder, your juice on your chest, and you've got seconds that follow you along the route who obviously look after your nutrition and hydration needs.
Now, I'm very proud to say that I think you're one of the, if not you've got the record for the most non-stop doozies.
I think I'm one behind the leader.
One behind the leader as far as having the most of the non-stop doozies.
But he is double my age, so
he's double his age, so it's okay. He can catch him up. Now, the other thing that Reese did, he didn't really do many of the qualifiers for the doozy. So where did you start in the field when they all took off on that first day?
They had packed up everything, so you're literally stone last. We were in the last batch of the day. The sun was high in the sky, and it was very tough conditions, but stone last.
Now, Reese paddled it alone because it was a two-man race, because they alternate every year with the doozy, the main focus of the race. One year it's the singles, the next year it's the doubles. Reese paddled it in the singles, and I'd just like Reese to tell us exactly where he came in that doozy after starting right at the very back of the doozy.
You said you wouldn't do this.
I want you to tell them.
I came second in the singles, which I was quite happy about because I had no training really for it.
He came second, so he lost 9.5 kgs, came second in the doozy. A week later, or 10 days later, did the non-stop doozy. And how long did it take you to do the non-stop?
It took me 10 hours, 5 minutes. It was this year's time.
Now, something that you mentioned to me, and this is what I want to ask Reese about. You've done 17 doozies. 80% of the time you said you get sick after that doozy because your immune system takes such a hammering from that non-stop doozy. What happened this year?
It's only with the non-stop doozy, and I think it's because, you're burning about 6,000, 7,000 calories. So it's quite a hard hit for the body. So normally I get very sick. This year, I think, with all the near-life products, I've been healthier than ever. I had more energy. And I recovered straight away. I'm ready for the next race, so there's no downtime.
I just want one final comment from you, Reese, and it's on the tea. How did you use the tea? Because I think the tea can become a great energy supplement. The energy supplement industry is a huge industry out there. People are spending billions on it, yet we've got this tea that you could use as an energy drink. How did you use the tea during your training? And I know your wife is also training for triathlons and things like that.
My wife was a brave one on screen. She'll shoot me knowing that she was the only one in the bikini. But I loved it cold. I'd add a bit of stevia or something to sweeten it up. I used it before training, during training, gave me a lot of energy. I was very alert with work when I used it just to sit through the day. But it was fantastic. My wife trains every day, literally sipping on it through her sessions rather than using these very toxic pre and during workout drinks that you can get. So it's been very good for us, and we love it. We've never got a sort of low energy session that we have.
Reese, I want to thank you very, very much. Thank you very, very much, Reese Foster.
And Warren has committed to do the doozy next year, so we'll get him up.
If he's paddling, I'm doing it because I can sit in the back and just watch. Thank you, Reese Foster. Great, great story. Okay, now, why are these athletes using it? Because the product is safe to use, and we give all our athletes our GNLD position statement as far as the safety of the products. We've got, in GNLD, we've got a lot of world-class athletes around the world that are using our products. I want to talk now, first of all, about the Olympics in 2012. We had this guy from New Zealand, Mahi Drysdale. He'd worked for 12 years to try and achieve his dream. Your dream doesn't just happen overnight. It takes time. And he had won the World Championships, I think, 2 consecutive years in that Olympic cycle before the Olympics, the Beijing one and the one before. And every single time he came to the Olympics, he would be sick for whatever reason. Then he started using GNLD nutritional products. He went to the Olympics in London in 2012, and I'm very proud to say that this guy, when he was using GNLD nutritional products or near-life nutritional products, he got the gold medal for New Zealand in the single sculls. The next guy I'm going to talk about, his name is Christian Berkey, and he does that. He's a gymnast that does the pommel horse, and he first heard about GNLD in 2007. And he was a very good athlete at that time because he was competing, and he got a silver medal at the World Championship just before the Olympics in 2008. But because he got a second, and I suppose his country compatriot must have got a first, he wasn't able to go to the Beijing Olympics. He had a dream to win those Olympics. He used the GNLD nutritional products. For him, the most important thing was what I just mentioned now, the safety of the GNLD products for an athlete to take to prevent being caught in a doping scandal or something like that. He realized his dream in 2012. He didn't get bronze, he didn't get silver, he got the gold medal, and he was using GNLD product. The next guy I'm going to show you, this has just happened very, very recently. Okay, he's a phenomenal Ironman. His name is Marco Albert. He was born in Tallinn, Estonia. In fact, our president, Mr. Roger Ace, who's sitting at the back, was with this very individual about a week ago in Estonia. And he's a triathlete competing in these Ironman events. He started in 1997. He was a swimmer, and then he switched over to the triathlon. This year, on the 1st of March, he said he competed in the World Ironman Championships down in New Zealand at Lake Taupo, which is one of the world's most beautiful and largest freshwater lakes. He set off on a swim. He's a good swimmer. So when he got out, the conditions were absolutely perfect. He got out of the water, he was in first place. When he got onto the bicycle, now remember that swim is a 3.9 kilometer swim, if I'm correct. Maybe Roger can correct me, but 3.9 kilometer swim. It's a long way to swim. He got on the bike, 180 kilometers. They cycle on the bike. On that bike leg, he managed to stretch his lead to 5 minutes. He got to the run, and then they've got to complete a full marathon, which is 42 kilometers. In the end, he finished in 8 hours, 17 minutes, and 33 seconds. He won the gold medal at the World Ironman Championships in New Zealand. And here, just some of the press when he went over the line. He was the first European in 14 years to win that event down in New Zealand. His goal this year is to win the World Ironman Championships in Kona, Hawaii, which I think take place in around October this year. Okay, let's go back there quickly. There he is there. Triathlon, he says, takes a lot of work and energy. On a daily basis, I need everything possible to help me recover. In addition to balanced nutrition, I get great support from GNLD food supplements. So I'll be ready for the next day training. Balanced nutrition and Pro Vitality Plus is the basis of my results. That's what Marco Albert says. We spoke about the Summer Olympics. We've just had the Winter Olympics. I don't know if any of you watched it. We had success there as well. This guy got a difficult name when you look at it to pronounce. Sami Johavi, okay? But he's from Finland, okay? And he competes in the cross-country sprint event where they work as a team. It's a grueling event that they do. You know, they've got to do these two times. They've got to do 3 laps, and you do it like in a relay format. So the one goes, does the 3 laps, he almost like high fives his partner. The partner goes, does it, and so he had a partner that competed with him in this cross-country event. They finished in 23 minutes. They finished just a split second before the second place person or team, and that team was from Russia. The third place side was from Sweden. But this team from Finland, with Sami using GNLD nutritional products, were the first over the finish line, and they won the gold medal at the Winter Olympics. I hope that you are proud of GNLD, because we have got world-class sportsmen that are using our product. It was the first gold medal for Finland in this event since 2002. Do you know what Sami said? He said after winning the gold, he said, in true Finnish tradition, he said, tonight I will celebrate. I will have a sauna and I'll eat a lot of food. He also says that he always has GNLD supplements in his luggage when he's traveling. The main thing for him, he said, he tries to avoid all these energy drinks, which he says give you the feeling of fullness. They come packed with a whole lot of sugar. And he says that feeling of hunger is very important to the athlete, because you've got to know when you've got to replenish your stores and get the right nutrition. Okay, because if you don't do that, and we spoke about Reese now, you become sick because of all the strenuous exercise that these guys are doing. So that's why he's using the product. Sami says, remember, he doesn't speak English as his first language, but he said the Olympic final, I, by the way, run through with the power of GR2, and I had enough energy. So there's a picture of Sami. Let's give him a big round of applause. Now, I'm proud to say, even here in South Africa, we've got athletes that are using our product. I just interviewed Ryan Sands a couple of weeks ago. Now, I don't know if any of you know Ryan Sands, but he is the premier ultra-distance marathon runner in the world at the moment. He's the first person to win a marathon on every single continent on the earth. The first person, and he's been using GNLD nutritional products since 2010. He completed he's also, I think, the first person to win the 4 Desert Challenge, where they run in the Atacama Desert, the Sahara Desert, Antarctica, which is considered a desert. And he won all 4 in 1 calendar year. Here you've got a picture of him running in America in the Colorado mountains. It's a 100-mile race that they run. He runs races of 250 kilometers or over. They're almost like 2 comrades back to back. He's the world's premier long-distance athlete. Here's a picture there of him. Here's another picture. At the moment, he's sitting in the Drakensberg because he's preparing for a grand traverse of the Drakensberg, where they're running at altitudes of 3,800, 4,000 meters. He's doing his preparation there. I'm very proud that he is using our product, and he considers GNLD part of his training regime. His premier reason for for using the product, he says, what he does is extremely strenuous. It takes a big wearing on the joints. He wants to be able to play with his children in 10, 15, 20 years' time. That's why he's using the Omega-3 Salmon Oil Plus, the Pro Vitality, the Daily Vitality, the Phyto Defense. One of his favorite products is the acidophilus, funny enough, because he had a very bad reaction to an antibiotic about 1.5 years ago. And he is adamant that the acidophilus has helped him recover and replace his gut flora. You've got a picture of him here. You'll see a picture of him on the side of the wall. He's a real athlete. And just 2-3 weeks ago, he won the Grand Trans-Canary Marathon on the Canary Islands, a 125-kilometer race. He won it 2-3 weeks ago. In that period, he was using Neolife Shake that you've just seen now. Okay.